All right. Welcome everybody to the first ever episode of the Uncooped podcast. I'm so thankful and so supportive that you guys have come out here and joined us. I really wanted to start this podcast to showcase some of my favorite internet stars, content creators, chicken breeders, farmers, homesteaders that I look up to and that we connect through all over the internet. But I wanted to put a face to face, showcase some of their great work and ask them some questions along with learning knowledge on my end as well. So if you guys ever have any guests that you ever wanted to showcase, please send me a message. I'm going to be showcasing some of my favorite, some of your favorite ones. So tonight's first guest is Becky from Diva Girls Silkies. She has been there from the start. I've asked her probably a million questions about Silkies. I'm so thankful for her. And I really wanted to have her be the first guest. I know so many people look up to her and her amazing photography skills, as well with her amazing Silkies. And we're going to get all into that. So let's welcome our first ever guest, Becky.
Hey,
what's going on?
Nothing.
I'm so happy to have you up.
Yes, we're so excited about this. This is awesome. So
Yeah. Who do we got here?
This is Baby. So she was in the Fluffy Unicorn video. I think she got like 2.5 million views. So she's
wow. That is so cool. Yes, you had to bring the star of the show. I love it. I'm so happy.
Yes.
So let's do a quick little brief background about you. How did you get into all this? When did you start?
Oh my gosh, I had Silkies from before I can remember as a little girl. My parents and grandparents, they got me white Silkies, and I would train the roosters to crow and just do silly things with them for treats. And I had them all through high school. And as I got older and in college, I took a break. I went to nursing school. And then as my kids, we slowly started incorporating chickens. And just one day, my husband got me an incubator after my daughter was born, and the hatching craze went. I went crazy into Silkies, and they were all just pets. And everyone in my family was driving them crazy because all they were seeing was Silky chicken pictures on my personal page. So I just made an Instagram page, and I never expected it to be everything. But Silkies are, they're a huge part of my being. So it's worked out really well.
Wow. So you had them throughout high school?
Yeah, I was called Chicken Becky. I was even put in the yearbook. I liked horses too. And the yearbook person, she came to my house to take my picture with one of my horses, but then she seen me with my chickens. And so I put one of them on my head, and she took that picture, and that was in the yearbook.
Oh, geez. Yeah. So you've been destined for this for a long time.
Right.
And it always seems like the white Silky is like the very first Silky that everyone gets. It's like the pinnacle Silky.
Yes, exactly. I had other colors when I loved collecting the colors. I loved going to the flea markets and swaps, and there was no social media then, so it was whatever you could find in your area, and we would find all these new colors, and it was really neat.
What was like one of the first colors that you were like really like interested in, and like maybe you could start breeding them or something?
And at my adult life paint, we have dairy cows, and so my husband, we love cow print. Our wedding was cow print, and so those are like the cow print chickens. When I was little, I really thought the splash were fascinating, just because they were hard to find.
Yep. Splash and paints seem to be like my two favorite. They're just so beautiful. What color is she considered? She's considered
she's modeled. Yes. So that has been my husband still favors the paint. I'm leaning more towards team modeled.
Yeah.
There's just something about it. I don't know. I just love them.
Yeah, they're very awesome. So what other animals? So I know your husband works with a lot of cattle, right?
Yes. So we have a full operating dairy farm. He's a 4th generation dairy farmer, and I have a little side farm. I have alpacas, sheep, goats, and the chickens.
Wow, that's awesome. And I'm sure he's really supportive of that, right?
He is. He he calls me sneaky because he says I sneak things in and then ask forgiveness. My mom did that with me whenever I was little.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a lot easier to ask for forgiveness once the animal's there.
Yes, exactly.
So you live in Tennessee, right?
Yes, East
Okay.
Tennessee, about 30
Perfect.
minutes east of Knoxville.
Okay. You grew up there then?
I've lived here my whole life, so
Uh,
and it was funny because I felt, when I was younger, that I needed to do something and move away, and then it's
yeah.
like I moved to Sevierville, which isn't far, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. It's kind of you
Okay.
probably know that, and it's like it just wasn't for me, and so I wound up meeting my husband, and it worked out perfect because he lived here his whole life, so it's like perfect little fairy tale.
That is so awesome. I remember you had messaged me sometime like in winter about the propane bill.
Yes, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I love that. You kept them nice and warm and comforted the whole winter.
Yes, everyone jokes because my husband buys these like separate propane tanks because our house is also propane. They're like, just heat it on the same one your house is with, and you'll
Oh,
save money in the long run. But yeah,
oh,
he likes to keep those records, see if
yeah,
we're burning up more propane or they are.
right. Exactly.
But it's
Uh,
so cold where you live, so I know they would be fine because the coldest we would get would be like 0. I mean, you're dealing with way colder temperatures.
Surprisingly, I've learned that silkies do very well in the cold. I haven't
They
had.
are more
Yeah,
cold hardy birds. They do better in the cold than they do the heat. So
yeah, yeah.
it's just my crazy brain.
Right, right. Yeah, silkies. Everyone always worries because they're a bantam breed, but really, they do well. They got so much floof. I think that they kind of like insulate themselves well.
Yes, they do. And they lay well in the winter. They're really great
Yeah,
breed of
and they
chickens.
always like to cuddle. They love to
Yeah,
cuddle little girls.
yes,
They keep each other warm.
yes, exactly. And they'll
Oh,
warm up the younger ones, and they're great little things.
yeah, they are so cute. Um, how did you start to like develop into like more of a business and in a brand rather than just kind of like a backyard breeding state?
Well, it started out, feed's expensive, everything's expensive. They hatch all the time.
Yeah,
So I just kind of started selling a little here, selling a little there, and kind of got out of control. So I've kind of taken a step back and like reevaluated things and set things up better to help people because I know it's out of love, that they want these
yeah,
birds. So trying to make it where I can have, more availability and less stress on me. And because I'm a mom, and that comes
yeah,
top priority, taking care of my kids and taking care of my animals. And so I'm trying
exactly.
to get it, where I can still get everything done while the kids are at school and like set up, get more of the business part of it down because it's a learning process. I've just really focused on learning the breeding of the birds the correct way, because before I didn't know much about type. And so I've learned a lot by showing. And so I really want to put out, beautiful birds that I would be coveting 4 years ago, whenever I'd go in the show hall and look at, like snobby silkies,
Right.
shorty, G silkies, I'd see their birds and it's just like, oh my gosh, and idolize them so much. And so I've worked hard to try to breed towards that. And so I would, like to just improve the whole silky gene pool and all for better. So that's kind of, I'm looking at doing some other things. I'm writing a book.
Yeah,
I do a lot of art, silky art, and I'm like, maybe I can make cards or coloring books.
maybe like
So
little stickers or something would be fun.
yeah, some stickers. Yeah, someone asked me the other day if I did T-shirts. One of my friends made this one for me, but I was like, maybe that can be something that I can look into. And definitely want to offer. I'm trying to get up the courage to ship chicks. So
Yeah,
that way you don't have to deal with the infertility of the eggs and everything. People can still get, a lower cost option of getting silkies without having to, pay the full price for a full grown bird.
yeah.
And then I won't be growing out so many. And but then I can still put all the eggs in and then not have to worry about fertility. If they're infertile, just throw them out. And so I've
Do you
talked to a lot
still?
of other breeders that successfully ship chicks and haven't had any issues. So I'm working up my courage to it.
Yeah, I know it's really scary. It seems like you're putting them out there and you don't know what's going to happen.
I know. Exactly.
Once they leave your hands, it's out of your control, and it's really hard.
Yes, I've shipped lots of grown birds and grow outs, and they've done, I mean, amazing. I haven't had any issues with that. Even the ones that, did get kind of lost along the way, I've packaged them, overly packaged them that way, just in case something does happen. They've got plenty. I do apples, I do peaches, I drench everything in applesauce. They get a little bit cat food, whatever you want. Like, you've got an array of options here. So, yeah.
Do you sell like chicks locally in your area?
Yeah. Yeah, I've probably saturated the local market. They're probably tired of buying them just to get me to shut up, probably.
Becky.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you always kind of post different ones on your page and everything like that you're listing for sale, and that's also a good way to reach out to other people. And social media has allowed us to do this, which is so cool that we're able to reach so many more markets than just our local area.
Yes, and it's what's popular in one area. Like around here, everybody has white silkies. Well, I get a lot of people from the Carolinas, and they're like, we just cannot find white silkies. And so I've really tried to, help send some over that way and help some people get started in white over there, which is surprising. I figured white would be everywhere. Nobody would want white, but it's been, there's like certain areas of the country that just don't have birds. Like out west, it seemed like they had more mottled and chocolate and things. And it's crazy the map, how it's all over the place. Up north, a lot of splash and stuff. So it's neat trying to get some of those down here and some of these out there and spread all around.
That's crazy. And you ship eggs too then?
Yes, I do ship eggs. I just really, fertility. I don't want my girls just, I usually keep one boy per like 5 or 6 girls. They go through spells. It's only natural. You can't expect 100% fertility year round. So when it's going good, or it's like paints, they're pretty well always fertile, but they're all really established and of age. Like I have a lot of pullets in my model pen. So they're still babies. They're not laying. If they are, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing to get a fertile egg. And so I'm just kind of being more patient with them and just giving them their time. And I do have some older modeled. So Roberta, she, the chicken fairy godmother, she blessed me with a lot of her flock. And some of them are older and they're just living out their life here till either, she gets them back or till, they cross the Rainbow Bridge. But so, they don't really lay eggs, but they're cute to look at, cute to take pictures of. But I've been hatching, if they do lay anything, I've been hatching it because I want to have that line replenished. Yeah. That way, if she needs it for any reason or anyone she wants to have it, I've got babies and I've got myself some backups. And so just keep that line going because she worked really hard for that. And it's really beautiful. And I love it and appreciate it. And I love these babies.
So cute. With modeled, they get like a different color on their skin then?
Yes. So they have like yellow, white skin. A lot of breeders are working to darken it. Actually, in a lot of these chicks I've noticed that they'll have like black big patches on their skin and like black in their comb and their nose. So they're getting there. I don't know if it's fully possible or not. I've heard both. I'm not super good with that side of genetics. I ask a lot of questions though to other people who I know are. So I know a lot of breeders are striving to get the black skin. I personally love the light skin. So even if I did work towards that on one pin, I would have to have the original light skin red comb because it's just adorable.
Oh yeah, it's really cute. You ever get like people say, "Oh no, those aren't silkies."
All the time. They're like, "Those are Polish. Those are Cochins." I'm like, they're silkies. They probably have that back in their genetics somewhere, but so do 90% of other silkies.
Right. Yeah, that was something I was confused with right when I saw it, but I was sure. Obviously, it was from you. I'm like, yeah, it's a silky. It's just to do with that genes.
Or splash. Yeah, I get asked for splash for eggs all the time. I'm like, I don't breed splash. And then they send me pictures of all my models. I'm like, those are modeled.
I mean, it's splashy looking.
Yeah, it is. Especially the hyper model. So these are more incorrect. So model's supposed to be a black bird and all the feathers are black and then it V's off and then the tips are white. I have a few that are, more correct. She's one of the incorrect ones, but she's perfect. But So, it is more confusing in the hypermodeled. That's what they're called. It's not an actual color, but just what
That
we
one
call
that you
them.
posted recently with the little eyeliner was so adorable.
Yes, I know. They're all so cute. It kills me so hard. That's why I'm like, how will I ever sell chicks?
That
So
is so
I want to keep them all, and it's neat people coming to pick them up because their excitement, seeing them in person, helps me deal with it better.
Yep, yep. Are you NPIP
Yes,
certified? Yeah.
yes. I got NPIP certified a few years ago, and I have not. It's wonderful. It's an easy process. I recommend everybody doing it. Just gives you peace of mind, and it just educates you and helps you hold yourself to a better standard, I feel like.
Yep, definitely. I definitely agree. Um, what kind of advice would you give to some of the young breeders looking into getting some silkies of their own?
Well, if they're looking to be a breeder, to learn the standard, I made the mistake of just putting all colors together, thinking that this bird would help this bird's color, and it's like genetics. Like learn your genetics. Start with one color pin, perfect it, then add another. There's a saying someone told me the other day: master of one thing or something, master of none. I don't know. It was a good little saying. I can't remember it, but
No, I get it.
yeah, I mean, it's good to, and I'm like one person to talk because I have a gazillion colors out there, but I really focus on paints. That is where, I really had worked the hardest. I started from scratch, I started with nothing, and so I've come a really long way with my paint line, and it's truly is my line, and I feel good about that. So, that's, I guess, where I go from with people, just to learn and do one color and just really perfect it, and then slowly add and not overwhelm yourself. Learn about the breed, learn about their health things. Silkies are kind of prone to different things more
Yes.
so than other poultry. So, like, learn all that first. That way you don't get overwhelmed, you don't hurt yourself, and
Yeah,
then you don't lose so much money.
they definitely require a lot more, vitamins, supplements, higher quality
Preventative, yes. All
preventatives.
about prevention with silkies.
Yeah.
You have to learn that the hard way. Don't free range them unless you're there, unless you have some big magic guardian dog.
Right, right.
Even still, it's like, what if he just misses something? It's always that one bird that you paid the most money for, that you love the most, that you've had the longest. It's always the one that you just absolutely couldn't live without. So,
Right. So let's just check out your Instagram here. You got 44,000 followers. That's crazy.
yeah,
What is,
I've only had it for a year. My page in April will be a
wow.
year, I think. Yeah, so it's just wild.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Wow. Was it just kind of like you posting reels? Was it kind of like a big viral one that went crazy, or?
So the Winnie reel, and I made that reel in like 2 seconds, just with my kids on the couch,
Oh,
just cracking up my money don't jiggle jiggle. That one, it's on my pinned ones. That's where I gained the most followers at once.
oh,
So it got me like 10,000 followers up, and everything else has been just kind of slow, steady burn. And then this last reel, like, it got me up, I don't know, probably like 5 or 6,000. It's crazy how, like a reel can just go viral and then poof, you get followers. But it has been, a slow and steady thing. And it's like, it'll go forever and I'll lose followers. And I'm like, oh, people hate me. And then poof, they'll start appearing again. And so
right.
it's, I just try to be honest, be real, focus on the good, and, just go from there, and just put my happy moments, and, and put myself out there. And it's
Literally.
my way. I'm a mom, and we
Yeah.
live in kind of a small area. And so it's just my way of my outlet to the outside world, and meeting people, making friends who are like me. And I like it for that.
That's awesome. Yeah, it really shows in all of your content that you really care about these birds. You take really good care of them. Obviously, you have amazing quality in your silkies. Um, do you use like a camera or just your phone or for
I
some of those?
do. My husband got me a Canon, a T5i, so it's an old Canon.
Yeah.
He got me that and like three lenses when my son was born, and I used it on my kids forever till they wouldn't be still, and now I use it on my chickens because they're pretty calm and cool. Everyone's like, "How do you get them to be still?" I'm like, I just let them out for a little while, let the sun get on them, and let them chill. When you first put them out, they're going to be like eating grass and all excited because like, "Hey, we're outside. Let's get some worms." And so then, I just give them a little while to get full and just do their little thing. And they'll prune themselves and they'll puff up. And that's your magic moment. So I try to time that where that will happen in the evening. And then I get the best shots that way.
Yeah, yeah. Those ones are so pretty. And I'm sure you probably take like 100 extra photos that don't even make the cut.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Out of the 8,000 pictures I took, there's one usable one on there. So it's all, and I'm bad. I can't delete those. So I just accumulate and accumulate, accumulate pictures. I'm like, I'm gonna have to find someone who's in a business that will just clean out photo cards and phones. My phone is like, it won't load, it won't work because it's so overloaded with pictures. I've got to
I
get
can't even.
those down.
You just when you have all those cute silkies, I mean, it's hard not to take pictures of them. So
It is. It's constant. I was the same way with my kids. It's constant pictures
great.
of them, kids and chickens.
Yeah, and those two together is perfect for you.
Yes, yes,
They are pretty
definitely.
active in it too. They like the
They
chickens.
are. They are. I try not to post them a whole lot just because it is a big world of social media. But it's part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. They love it. My daughter wants to show with me. She wants to show Buff, the one color chicken that I don't have. She has one Buff chicken, so I'm gonna let her if she still wants to by the time April comes around. But my son, he's really good about chores and helping my husband, like build things and stuff for them. And then my daughter, she just loves to hold them and dress them up and put Barbie accessories on them. Like most of the stuff is her ideas that, and then I just do it.
Oh,
Whenever, she'll get her little chicks and put them in her Barbie house, and they just grow up and they remember her. And it's crazy how the chickens, they know their people and
yeah.
they love the kids, and they always have a few that they bond with. There's always a few that I bond with, and it's really neat.
Yeah, especially sometimes I feel like I'm always bonding with like a rooster that you don't like
I know.
necessarily need.
Yeah, it's always, you always love the ugly rooster.
Yep, yep. And then he's just your little pet that's always around.
Yeah.
Is there any breeds of other chickens that you enjoy besides silkies?
I love cochins. My daughter had a cochin one time, Millie, that she just
Oh,
absolutely adored. That chicken adored her. They really did tea parties. I did a tea party photo shoot in our wheat field. We had a lot of mustard growing in it, and like that was real life to her. You think it's just put on, but it's like she does that kind of stuff all the time. But that chicken, I mean, she followed her everywhere. Pigeons are very curious, and they're more interactive than silkies. Like silkies are more cuddly, and but like she would constantly eat, jump for treats, and do like lots of little tricks with Lily and stuff. So I might get into coachins on small scale, like a pet scale, one day, and get one or two, and just have a little hen coop somewhere with a couple coachins because I really, really loved her. But it's like at the same time, if you've ever had a really good dog and then something happens to it,
mhm.
and then you try to get another dog like that dog, but you expect it to be like that. I don't want to have that experience either, where we've dripped up that they're all like Millie and then not
Right.
be the case. But I can't imagine we wouldn't love them. I'm sure they'll have reasons that we would love the new ones too.
So you don't have any other breeds right now besides silkies?
No, I don't. I gave my grandmother my Easter eggers, and she is
That's
obsessed. So
that's
she
hard
has
to have
babies.
one breed.
Yeah, they are in her kitchen. The babies that I recently hatched her
Oh,
by her wood stove, and my papa told me she just sits and looks at them and talks to them all day long.
cute.
So I get it honest.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like with the baby chicks, like all ages could really enjoy them. Just down
Yeah,
to babies, all the way to older people that
yes,
they really find the new life so cute.
yes, definitely it is, and they grow up so fast, so you really got to take it all in.
That first like week is like the best week.
Yes, I know. They're so fluffy and squishy, and they'll just
Yeah.
snuggle up in you. And they go through little silkies, especially. I was telling someone this the other day. They kind of go through that quirky teenager stage where they're growing in their feathers. They don't really want to be picked up. They act kind of skittish, but as soon as they get their fluff, like they're over that. They're back being their sweet, cuddly self.
Exactly. Yeah, that teenager phase is like they're kind of funky looking.
Yeah, they are. I'm like, trust the process.
Right, they're just
Not scam you. You will have a beautiful chicken. Like,
the fluff will come in, I promise.
Yes, I do sell a lot of grow outs locally as well. I get overwhelmed sometimes. I'm like, I'm just gonna sell them. So it's ones I was growing out, and they're crazy looking. I'm like, just they'll get there. I promise. They're coming. Right. Give them another 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. Have you seen a demand this year, increase in the demand this year as well, kind of with the chicken world?
I feel like for sure, especially with this egg thing. And I try to, tell people Silkies aren't the best egg breed. They will lay eggs and they will be perfect pets. And I just want to make sure someone picks the right chicken for them because, if you're just strictly wanting, a good bird that will lay eggs. I mean, your Buff Orpingtons are also a sweet bird that lay a lot better and don't go broody as much as Silkies. So, always try to encourage someone to pick the right breed for them, even though I wish everybody had Silkies. That they're really not for some people just because, if you're wanting something to eat and save you money on your eggs, they're not going to be the best ones. But I will say a separate silky coop is handy because they do, they lay well in the winter time when your other chickens typically don't. So, everybody needs a few Silkies. So you just might need a few other chickens.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I have a free range group, and then I have like a small breeding group, and then I have a whole silky pen that's completely separate. Needs that. They work really good when they're all together with like kinds, I feel.
Right. Yes, they do. Definitely.
You definitely have to have a lot more time for Silkies because, sexing them takes a lot longer. To produce eggs takes a lot longer. They're going to be smaller eggs. But once they do start going, they are great layers.
Yes, they are. Yeah. You just got to get them there. It's like you said, it's like my lavenders. Most of the time, my lavenders don't start laying until they're a year old. So it's, and then my paints will start laying at like 6 months old, sometimes a little bit younger. So it's just crazy the difference. And you just don't know what to expect. Everything is on a Silkie's terms. Like you have no control. Like they have all the control.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely. Do you use like a higher protein for your Silkies?
I don't. I tried that and it didn't go well with me. And I had to consult with couple of different veterinarians, figure out what I was doing wrong, and feed nutritionists, and it was too much protein. But everywhere you read is protein, 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 but you can shut down their kidneys. One of the nutritionists had told me, Silkies tend to like starches. And, a lot of people will say the protein for the feathering, which is true when they're in molt, but when they're not, biotin, if you want to give them a biotin supplement. But I have went fully to Kalmbach Hen House Reserve. I have nothing against other feeds. I love Neutrina's Hardy Hen. I fed it for a while. For me, the Kalmbach, it just keeps them interested. It's very colorful. Silkies get bored. There's other boredom busters you can do to get Silkies eating. Like you can spray the feed with molasses water if you just want to feed a pellet. But I love the color and just the way that it gets them excited. Every time they see it, they're just like, are you going crazy? Roosters are clucking, feeds are flying. It's like just best day ever for them every day. So I've stuck with it and they've done really well. They're all very shiny. They're all very, everybody's birds are going to look rough in the winter. I try to tell people, and if you've got like 8 roosters and five hens, they're going to look rough too, So I try to, explain to people it's not necessarily always the feed company's fault. And all birds will take breaks from laying. They'll all take breaks from fertility. I've learned it all in this time of doing it. And, whenever I was younger, I only hatched in the spring. So I always had great fertility. Well, now I'm trying to hatch year round. And it's like, why do I not have fertility? What is wrong? And you immediately jump to the feed or something. But I truly think, all the feed companies firmly believe in the product that they're putting out there. And I think for the most part, they're all great products. It's just finding what's best for you. you don't know what your chickens are getting outside of their feed. So if you free range a lot, you probably wouldn't need, the hen house reserve. A pellet would probably be just fine because they would, know what they needed was in that pellet. But my silkies, they get a free range, but it's, on like 30-minute, hour, 2 hour, half a day intervals. Whenever I can be outside, I'm turning them out and putting them out. So they do get to get outside, but they don't get to free range all day long like most other chickens. But we live surrounded by cornfields. We have a river on that end, a lake on that end of our property, and lots of foxes, lots of hawks, eagles. I mean, you name it. And raccoons, possums, weasels, like all kinds of predators just begging, waiting for a silkie to pop out. So I'm out there and I'm crazy. I beat one with a snow shovel before. Like,
Not my girls.
that's right. You can take me, you can haul me off all you want, but you are not getting my chickens. Chase one with a 4-wheeler. The eagle, there's a fox grabbed one of my chickens one time, and then the eagle come down to get the fox, and I ran out in my nightgown because it happened like at the bottom of my yard, barefoot, beat the eagle off the hawk, and then ripped my chicken out of the fox's mouth. I think I said hawk, but I meant fox. And so I got my chicken out. She wound up being fine, thankfully. She was just in shock, but it's like that's the things that we do for our chickens.
Definitely. We love our chickens.
Yes, I had another time my coop. I heard it at like 3 o'clock in the morning. So I jump up, run out there in the middle of the night, and there's this big possum just getting eggs. So I grab the possum, carry him up. He's like trying to bite me and smells awful. And I just run down the road barefoot and then just set him out and then just run back home and get in bed.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I'm pretty sure they're probably one of those crazy chicken lady videos.
Yes.
Violation videos.
Those moments never get videoed because it's so in the moment. I need a camera that's just pointed out there just to show some of the crazy things I've had to do over the time.
Have you had any losses, unfortunately, to predators?
I have. One day my kids were in the front yard sitting in these little chairs, and they had my lavender silkies out. And my lavenders were really friendly, and of course the rarest, most hard to find, most expensive color. Mm-hmm. And one of them, was this little hen that my son just loved, and she was just right around him. They'd been playing and talking or whatever. Well, him and Lily were playing, and all of a sudden, I seen it. It was like one of those things in just slow motion. The hawk just dived, picked her up, and was gone. So we ran and we jumped in the 4-wheeler. My kids were crying. We chased as far as we could, but he just never would let down, and he went over the main highway to where we couldn't even. But by that point, I'm sure she was gone. But so that's when, it's like, no, we're not taking chances. Yeah, I will kind of fence them in instead of let them like drift so far. So I bought a bunch of those dog panel things and like puppy playpens, and I just lay them out everywhere. And that kind of gives me the option to keep my colors together too. And I'll put them in good spots where they can get to dirt and grass and grit and everything, a good variety. So they still feel like they're free ranging. And then I throw nets over it that way. Like, I'm trying to, at every cost, even if my eyes turn for a second, they have a little bit of protection, but I don't even go in the house to like use the bathroom or eat something. I will carry them and put them all back up, come in, and then I'll do it all again.
That is too funny. I love it. The dedication we do for these birds, right?
Right, exactly. Yes. They're alive though, and they're irreplaceable. So
irreplaceable. I completely agree. Is there any kind of social media content creators that you look up to or, converse with daily or weekly?
Definitely. Well, we've talked. I've always loved your little mini manure spreader.
Oh yeah, yes.
I want it for myself. My husband has like these gigantic ones, but I just want one. Yeah, I just need a little one. But I look up to all the content creators really. Swanky Silkies, Hackle Haven, that's a couple, Persnickety Poultry. I really look up to what they're doing. I think, my friend Ivy, she's Wildflower Creek Homestead. I love her page, and I just, Duskwood. There's so many on there. I couldn't even, name them all. I really look up to what everybody's doing and just how different they approach it and stuff. And I love the beekeeping, you know, learning from that. And there's just a lot of people, they're really great people on there. And there's been a lot of people that's really helped me when I've had questions. And I try to be there for people whenever they have questions. I get frustrated. I can't answer all the questions. And it's a lot of, you know, what I sell, what they can buy, when they can buy. And I get overwhelmed with that sometimes because it's just, I feel like I'm failing people because I can't get them what they need, you know, and it just really breaks me down sometimes. But I don't want people to stop asking, you know, I mean, that's not what it is. I don't want to constantly be like, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. So, but I probably need to just like make a list, you know, like these are all people that I really, you know, think are awesome, have awesome birds, and, you know, I really look up to them. So try them and just kind of have that like pinned to my page somehow. I love the whole Instagram community. It's one that I've really gotten into the most. It's no drama. Everyone, you love everybody. It's very kind atmosphere. Always get reassurance. You know, there's a few people that are kind of been mean to me. And I'm just like, what did I ever do to you? But I guess that's with any kind of social media.
That comes with the field, unfortunately.
Yes.
You don't make it until you got haters. So.
I need to put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone could hate it on your stuff. So, because you really do a great justice for these birds and for the silky community, for the whole community.
Thank you. That makes me feel good.
You've always been helpful to me, so I've always been appreciative to that. And some of your stuff kind of inspires me to, like, you know, want to do better for all my birds as well. So.
Yeah, definitely. We can all do better, you know, like nobody's just got it figured out. And even when you see those perfect showbirds, you know, there's always one little thing that's just not perfect about them, you know, with the standard, but they're still perfect. But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's always something to strive for.
Definitely.
I always encourage anybody with silkies to join, you know, the American Silkie Bantam Club and get involved and go to shows. It's fun. It's great. I mean, the competition is fun, you know, seeing where your bird places, but the best part is, you know, the fellowship with the like-minded people and people doing the same thing that you're doing. And she's getting hot. But just, you know, just talking to people and spending the day with people who like the same things you do.
Definitely. Yeah. It's awesome. This community is really fun. So
yeah,
I wanted to do this podcast just to kind of connect a lot more people and learn from them as well. Like I've already learned stuff from you. So
this is awesome. I love what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fun. Where can people find you if they have any questions?
She's telling you.
Yeah,
Diva Girl Silkies. Find me on the Instagram page. I'm on that probably the most. I've tried to get caught up with Facebook. It's just like, I don't know why. I guess because it's been more active. So my brain just goes to there more to answer questions and talk to people and stuff. So I think there is a little bit of like a 1-day delay on me getting back to some messages on Facebook, but I will get back to you. And if I see that, you know, it's an emergent, like someone has a sick chicken or egg-bound chicken or something, I try to step in there as quickly as I can, stop what I'm doing, answer them, and help them get through. So that way, you know, I know they're not freaking out thinking that I'm just ignoring them. But if it's a question that can wait, a lot of times, I'll wait till I'm not with my kids and, you know, I'm trying to keep all of my attention and focus on them, not being a phone mom. And, you know, it's my biggest job is, you know, being a mom and everything. And so I definitely, you know, I don't mind people asking me questions at all. And I hope I never come off that way. You know, I'm here to answer anything. And so I'm trying to get more educational content on there and on my highlights. That way people kind of have a reference guide and, you know, like mite treatment, they can find it on there, you know, or bumblefoot, whatever, you know. I'll probably never have the courage to make a bumblefoot video. I haven't had an issue with bumblefoot in a long time. I do know other people that have, and they have posted the videos. So I'm going to like find their videos and then like tag them some way in my highlights maybe, or get people, you know, on these other pages as well. And just to get, you know, lots of information, free information out there to help people.
It's so awesome that the online world can provide all these free sources and amazing people to help like you as well.
Yes, I don't mind a bit. I love it. If I can help, I will help.
Yeah.
And it's like if I don't know the answers, I'll ask around until I do find the answers. And so sometimes that's what takes me a little bit. Is I'm just trying to gather the information to help you because I haven't experienced that yet. So we can both learn from it. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's so cool. You have any big plans for 2023? Anything that you want to upgrade this year, or colors
um,
that you want to get?
I'm probably my daughter, this buff. I'm gonna
Yeah,
have to
get some buffs.
do something with her with that. I'm not saying I'm going to be a buff breeder. Buff is another complicated color, and I cannot handle any more complex breeding colors. But I'll put something together for her. I may even minimize the color. I've been on the fence about, the chocolates and the mauves, and I just don't know if I can do that. I love cuckoo. I would like at least one cuckoo hen just to have. I
Yeah,
might
that's
get a
great.
pair. But I kind of want to focus on this book that I'm writing and get that out, I'm illustrating it and everything. I'm going to our local co-op and doing like an educational thing for locals for Silkies, because they are gaining a lot of popularity. So just kind of what Silkies are prone to and get all that information out there before they get them, so where they fully understand what they're getting into. But, and I definitely want to get something with, the art and all of that sort of thing kind of together. And like I said, I want to offer chicks. So I'm hoping as the weather warms up, that can be something that I can do as well.
We're finally getting to some warmer weather.
Yes. Oh, I'm so
We're
happy.
almost there. I haven't seen green
We get
grass for
there
5 months.
and then we get knocked back. Like we were like 80 degrees 2 weeks ago, and I planted all these flowers, and then this big frost to come and kill them all. And
Oh no, always.
yeah,
When can we be expecting the book out?
I'm not sure. I mean, I've got it wrote. I'm working on. I got most of the pages illustrated. I don't know how long the publishing and all that take. I mean, I know nothing about this. It's just something I jumped on a whim in the middle of the night, and I started writing. And so, and it's I don't know how long it'll be. I'm hoping by summer or something, maybe I can get it done, and it'll just be kind of offered through my page, I guess, at first, and see where it goes.
That's so
Hopefully,
cool.
it'll become a series.
Yeah,
So.
you're doing it all. I love it. I love women that are out there striving, achieving, putting themselves out there, and just being not afraid of anything. You're really pushing the limits, and I love it. I'm here to support you fully, 100%.
Thank you. Yes. Well, I used to have a horrible self-confidence, and when I had my daughter, I was like, I don't want to be like that. I want her to love herself. I want to love myself. I want to lead by example, and just show her that she can do anything that she puts her mind to. And so I'm hoping she grows up and doesn't have that self-confidence issue. That she is empowered and does whatever she wants to, because she definitely could. That's actually the Diva girl Silkies, I mean, Diva is taken in a good way and in a bad way. Like some people will be like, no wonder your page name is Diva.
Right.
I don't know. I guess they mean it as an insult. But I think of like Beyonce, like she's a diva, like, and it's kind of, I guess, when I went to my first show, the Silkies, just so beautiful, and like they just stood out and glowed above all the rest, and they just performed so well. And my daughter, she's a diva in both ways, and Silkies are kind of little divas in both ways, and it just kind of all come together. It was a joke, and then it like stuck, and
oh my gosh,
that became it. I thought about changing it to just Diva Silkies, because I was like, I want everyone to have Silkies, not just girls. I don't know if people will take that, but
oh, it flows well and it fits perfect.
Yeah.
For both you and the Silkies.
Yeah.
I love it.
They are little divas. The girls are. The boys are more level-headed. I think the roosters are. Like they're the ones that keep all the girls in control and like normal and leveled out. And I try to run hen pens all the time, and it's like they're like fighting, yanking out each other's feathers. I just put a rooster in there just to like stop the nonsense, lay the law down. Like we are all gonna get along. Y'all gonna love each other.
Yeah, I love when they show where the treats are for their hens.
Oh yes, they'll pick them up. They'll be clucking and feed them right out of their mouth. I'm like, that's so romantic.
It's so sweet.
But if my husband come to me with a worm in his mouth, I probably wouldn't think it was romantic.
And then Well, it's been so great chatting with you. I look forward to it. If anyone has any questions, shoot Diva Girl Silkies a message. Follow her on Instagram, on TikTok. I know she's been getting more into TikTok, so we
I'm
ain't gonna get
trying.
banned.
You
We're,
motivate me. I'm
yeah, yeah.
trying to get it.
Post more. I love it. And we will see you around. All right.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
No, thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you guys so much for the first ever episode of Uncooped. Look forward to it on YouTube at 5 o'clock on Friday nights. We're going to be posting every week. I have a bunch of fun guests lined up. Can't wait to get them on here and chat away. So if you guys ever have any questions or any people you guys wanted to recommend, shoot me a message on Chocker Chickens. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and we have a Uncooped YouTube page and an Uncooped Instagram page. So give me a follow on there, and look forward to it. Thank you guys so much.